This is going to be the second true crime tarot reading, connecting with the energy of JonBenet Ramsey. And since this is the second reading, I'm not really going to go too much into what happened to her so much, but if you want to watch that first reading, I do suggest going back to view that first if you want to know what information we picked up on in that reading. So today I kind of want to focus on the fact that during that first reading, there were some cards revealing that a friend knows something. Also that there was some kind of meeting of minds or people coming together regarding something. And there was this energy within the family, and probably, you know, family being the immediate family, but also possibly the communities that they were involved in. There was definitely almost a cult-like energy where, you know, there may have been a lot of mind control involved in some way when it comes to the life of JonBenet Ramsey. So that's really kind of the focus that I want to take more in today's reading. So as usual, I have her image here in front of me. So, you know, when you see me gazing down here, I'm looking at JonBenet's beautiful face. And I have actually sat in her energy all morning today, preparing for this reading. And I watched the first reading that was done over a year ago to kind of, you know, brush up on the energy that we picked up on there. And then I did a little short meditation connecting to the energy of JonBenet Ramsey. And immediately during that meditation, I had a very deep sadness. So JonBenet's general emotion is one of a deep sadness. And I just hope that we can help to uplift her spirit by helping to hopefully just reveal more information about what really happened to her that night. So after doing that little meditation, I went into my room to figure out what I felt like wearing today. And when I opened the closet, I saw this jacket that my daughter actually gave me for Christmas 2024. So I just recently got it and I hadn't worn it yet. And unusual because like it's not something I was planning on wearing or anything like that. So when I opened my closet, there it was. And that was the first thing I looked at. So, you know, I pulled it out and the tag was still on it. And so I took a look at the back of the tag and it says that this company was founded in the mountains of Colorado in 1946. And immediately I knew that JonBenet kind of led me to this jacket because for some reason it's just been sitting in my closet, hanging in my closet since I got it, and I haven't even considered wearing it yet. But there was a little connection between me and JonBenet there because JonBenet grew up in Colorado and I grew up in Colorado near kind of, you know, in the same state and area. Also, this jacket was a gift from my daughter to me for Christmas. And we all know that JonBenet Ramsey was, you know, this happened to her over Christmas. But also, my daughter who gave me this jacket has green eyes and blonde hair, just like JonBenet Ramsey. And so, I don't know, I just saw that little connection there. And then the third connection as well between Colorado, the looks between JonBenet and my daughter, but also my daughter when she was growing up, because she is an adult now. But when she was growing up, she was a competitive dancer. So just like JonBenet Ramsey, she was very familiar with the performance life, you know, life on stage and performing for a large audience of people. So I just felt like this jacket is also me connecting deeply with JonBenet, and I feel like she kind of guided me to get this jacket out of my closet and put it on for the first time, while at the same time finding out that this brand was born in the state of Colorado. Anyway, that was a little side story. I like to kind of tell you how I've connected with her energy today. And so now I just want to go ahead and call in the energy of JonBenet Ramsey so that we can get even more answers about what happened to her. Specifically, I want to know more about this friend who knows something, allegedly. All right. So now I'm going to take this candle in honor of JonBenet Ramsey. And while this candle is lit, I will be a channel for her energy to come through. So JonBenet Ramsey, I'm going to be lighting this candle now. So I ask that the highest vibrations of light and love connect to my highest self and release previous programmings and unwanted energies. And now, JonBenet Ramsey, I am now a channel for your energy to come through until I blow out this candle. So thank you so much for being here with us. All right, JonBenet Ramsey, I'm going to start by shuffling this deck, the Murder Mystery deck. I'm going to shuffle the deck 3 times, cut the deck, and draw a card. And I will repeat that process 3 times as well. So we're going to pull 3 of these. Duh. The first card says illegal activities played a role. Well, yeah. I think that that's true for most crimes, right? But what I think that this card is really saying, the energy that I'm getting from it, is that there were more illegal activities going on besides the crime that took place that night in JonBenet's house. So there were other illegal activities going on possibly with this group of people or friends that might know something, allegedly, right? Let's get the next card. Strange phenomena involved, you guys. This is the exact same card that we got in the first reading, and we kept referring back to throughout the entire reading. Strange phenomena was definitely involved. Definitely a cult-like feeling, you guys. That's what I mean by strange phenomena, okay? So, all right, let's get the next one. Details leading up to the murder may be worth investigating. Definitely, I think that they should investigate every person they were at the party with. Because, you know, you guys, I don't know too much about the actual details of this case, but one thing I do know is true, is that the investigation wasn't that great. You know, people were tromping in and out of the house. There was no way. Anyway, I just feel like what led up to this night, there was a holiday party. There was, you know, they were around a lot of different people. And in that first reading we did, JonBenet was giving us the energy of a meeting taking place where JonBenet was trapped with what was put on the table during that meeting. So definitely, I think that there should be a bigger investigation about the details that led to this day in question, that led to that night. Now, a lot of people do think that those details that need investigating could have to do with like the pineapple, what she had eaten before this, and also maybe her brother was involved. Some people said that. But to be honest, I'm not buying it. I don't think that the brother really had much to do with it, at least. I am not picking up anything that indicates to me energetically that the brother did this. All right, JonBenet, what else can you tell us about these people? The illegal activities and strange phenomena. Let's see. We got Giant and Great Reset. What does this mean? Gaslighting, grandparent, imprisonment, homicide. All right, so first we got the Giant and the Reset. And then we got these 4 cards kind of explaining that, I guess you could say. JonBenet was only 6 years old when this happened to her. So everyone involved are giant when it comes to her. She had no defense at all. The Great Reset to me was she was definitely, it was an adult who did this to her. Because, Great Reset is like death and rebirth. Then we got gaslighting, grandparent, and imprisonment. So definitely with the grandparent there, here's the thing, you guys. In some way, there's a longer lineage of this. Now, it may not be the family like the grandparent itself, but there's a lineage involved in the people in this circle, the adults in her life. And my dog just barked. I don't know if the video picked it up, but that is confirmation. But now they're going a little out of control, so let me pause it. Excuse that. But anyway, we got gaslighting as well here, and then imprisonment. So I feel like in some way the people involved are almost taught, with that gaslighting card being there, I feel like they're taught to be this way. But then we got imprisonment and homicide as well. Part of me does feel like while they are not coming forward, that whoever did this is definitely imprisoned by the fact that they did this in some way. Even though in the first reading, we got good with assassination. Which indicated to me that the person involved, or the people involved, what we think is bad, they think is good. All right? But it's almost like the gaslighting, the way they were raised and programmed, because we kept getting them mind control cards. The way that they were raised gave them this imprisoned thinking that they're almost stuck thinking that way. We got accomplice, partner in crime. So really the imprisonment of thinking. And look, on this accomplice card, there's a handshake. So like I said, some kind of meeting took place. Some kind of offer was on the table. There's definitely a friend that knows something. Ancient mystery. Right when I said there's a friend that knows something, there are two faces on this card. So again, yeah, it's definitely this mystery, the accomplice. But with that ancient mystery card, I'm also picking up a deeper layer as well. So while it's saying it is a mystery, this accomplice, the layer even deeper is saying that there's this ancient mystery taking place with the people involved. So the groups, right? Kids go missing all the time. So what makes certain kids international or national news over others, right? I know a lot of times it has to do with the family members and how much they put themselves out there as well. But it's almost like some kids really get boosted in the media, right? But it could be because they're tied to certain groups of people, if that makes sense. I'm trying not to say too much because of YouTube, you know. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we almost had to put these back, but we got it. We got travel, friend, and outer space. These kind of fell in 2 different groupings. So these 3, and then these 2 were next to each other. Female and sixth sense. All right, so there is a friend who possibly travels with them. It says outer space as well. If you remember, there were aliens and intergalactic travel in the first reading. So I feel like the outer space is there, not only showing that they can travel far and wide together, but this friend slash accomplice slash partner in crime, mystery person, could have traveled far and wide as dear friends for these people, okay? And then we have female and sixth sense. So whether or not a female knew about this friend or even this meeting of people, I feel like there was an intuition that something was taking place, even if it was never flat out spoken, if that makes sense. All right, JonBenet. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next deck. We got collapse and distraction. So the collapse card reminds me of a tower moment in the regular tarot deck, the tower card, right? So it reminds me of that energy, the tower, because it's like this tall building that's collapsing. So in some way, I feel like they're trying to create different dramas to create a distraction from something. These circles of people. Also maybe even, well, no. Okay, you know what, JonBenet, I want to take the tarot deck, the Rider-Waite deck here. And I want to pull 3 cards for the energy of this friend slash accomplice, partner in crime energy. All right, I'm going to shuffle 3 times, cut the deck, and draw 3 cards for the energy of this accomplice, this friend. We have the Temperance reversed. Immediately when I saw that, I'm like, this person drinks. We got Knight of Pentacles. So moving in with some kind of offer here. An offering. Again, an offering. I feel like the Pentacle is being presented in much the same way. So someone that they, go to parties with, for instance, is someone who presented some kind of offer, some kind of possibly money or security of some kind. Something physical, tangible. Definitely connected, though, with this gaslighting and mental imprisonment. Interesting. All right, now I'm going to get the Deviant Moon deck. I'm going to shuffle 3 times, cut the deck, and draw 3 cards again. And I just want to clarify that. I want a little more of that energy of this friend or accomplice in the crime against JonBenet Ramsey. This friend who travels the world with them. The Sun. Interesting. So with this Sun card, it's actually an image on the Deviant Moon deck of 2 men dancing with each other. So my first thought immediately is that this friend or accomplice, partner in crime, the friend is a friend of the father. Okay? So someone who's a friend of the father. We have the 7 of Pentacles. As you can see, the character here is stabbing into this tree, and the tree is bleeding. I feel like this friend, the energy I'm getting is that the father and the friend, possibly, allegedly, were trying to get as much life as they could out of this youthful child, right? By life, I mean for them, the blood. But also pentacles, so money. Something to do with money. I don't know what kind of underground deals were being made, you know, within the family and stuff. Finally, we have the Ace of Swords, and it's reversed. But the swords are all about the mental energy regarding things. And as you can see on the image, the Ace of Swords is really like an entanglement of thinking. So it's like, again, it's what I was saying. It was like the imprisonment of thinking that's been created here. This circle. I feel like it's like a friend within a certain group of friends. I feel like they try to present themselves one way to the outer public, but really it's totally different internally. Because it's, you know, it's half a dark moon and then a crescent moon is the face. Now, with this being reversed, I just feel like this was a little bit, I don't think that the actual, what took place, the end result that JonBenet Ramsey is no longer with us may not have been a part of the actual plan. The plan was to keep poking at her until they could get as much out of her as possible. Does that make sense? So that's the energy I have of the friend. It was a friend. What I'm feeling is that it was a friend of the father. And they're both a part of some kind of weird group. Possibly. It's also a possibility that the mother didn't know anything, but she had an intuitive knowingness about it. Does that make sense? She's gone now. The mom, she can't even talk about it. Interesting. Okay. The collapse of her health could have been a distraction as well from this. DNA. I just got that card while we were talking about the mom. Oh, and there is DNA, I think. DNA evidence in this case. Oh, I just dropped a whole bunch. Hold on. All right, JonBenet, tell us about this DNA. Tell us about the DNA evidence. Body devil, deep fake, and mountains. We know that where she lived was in the mountains, or near the mountains. Body double, deep fake, mountains. I'm wondering if that DNA was altered in some way or maybe even planted. Deep fake. Mountain. The mountain is a challenge. The DNA has been a challenge because anyone who is a suspect isn't matching the DNA, right? The challenge of the DNA could be that it wasn't even the right DNA, if that makes sense. I don't know how. That's just very strange. Okay. All right, JonBenet. What else can you tell us? Anything else? Whoa. Got 3. Fraud, legal proceedings, and underwater. Fraud. After getting the body double deep fake, we got fraud. There's fake money on there too. Legal proceedings, underwater. All right, so remember in the first reading, we did get this legal proceedings card as well, but that time we got it with, trying to remember, affluent maybe? And so they were able to keep this out of, I feel like there was some kind of exchange of money to keep the actual investigation more hidden. I feel like there's some kind of, that's the body double deep fake fraud stuff. It's all to keep this out of proceeding any further, I guess, legally, the investigation. It was a bad investigation. All right. So far, you know, we got the giant and the reset. So what happened to her, this great reset of JonBenet, was done by an adult because she was a child, a young child. So every person involved looked like a giant compared to her. So she was, I just don't feel that it was her brother at all. I feel it was definitely adults only who were hurting her, taking advantage of her. There was a lot of gaslighting as far as the family is concerned, as far as trying to keep them imprisoned in some type of thinking regarding this. Accomplice, partner in crime, and that was followed up by ancient mystery, if you remember. So these partners in crime, or this whole circle or group of people, is not only a mystery, an ancient mystery, so a mystery since the beginning of this crime, but ancient mystery as well, such as like it's a group of people, or like a cabal, you know, a deep state of people. It's like what's always happening when there's corruption. There's always a group of people involved that can go back as far as however, you know, as far as you can remember. Now, we also got travel, friend, and outer space. So, you know, it's possible that this friend was part of this circle of mind control with the outer space card, but this friend also possibly traveled with the father, because I feel like the friend is a friend of the father. I feel like the mom, if she didn't know directly, she did have a sixth sense or an intuition about what was taking place regarding her daughter. And it is possible that her collapse of health was a distraction and also a way to keep the public guessing if she had anything to do with it as well. And then we got DNA, mountain, and body double deep fake. And then we got fraud, underwater, and legal proceedings together as well. So that wraps up everything that we've gotten so far. So this reading really did reveal that there's a friend involved, a friend of the father involved possibly. And to investigate the days leading up to this, or even just her whole life leading up to this event would be beneficial for the investigation. We learned that, again, strange phenomena was involved, similar to the first reading as well. And I'm connecting that strange phenomena with some kind of secret group of people. It's a very underground thing taking place, which leads to that first card we got, which was that illegal activities played a role in this. It's a group of people somehow involved in bad things. What we think is bad, they think is good type of energy. Demonic. All right, I think that's what she has for us right now. So, JonBenet Ramsey, thank you so much for being here and for giving us a little more insight into the person who's involved. And I ask everyone to please send loving prayers to JonBenet Ramsey. So, JonBenet, I'm closing myself off as a channel now, and I'm sending you back to the energy from where you came. So, JonBenet, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story with us.